guys, so I'm just going to jump straight into this video. I'm just going to be filling in any sparse areas of her brow with the Benefit Precising My Brow Pencil in the shade number 4. And then I'm going to be carving out her eyebrows with the M.A.C concealer in the shade NC25. I love this concealer for girls with her skin tone because it's super yellow tone, so it just highlights and it's not too watery and it's super full coverage. And using that same concealer, I'm going to take it on a angled buffer brush by Morphe and just going to be putting that all over her lid and using it as a base for the eyeshadows and then setting it with concealer so it's not wet. Surprise, surprise, I know, I'm taking the Morphe 35O palette and taking that light orange shade and just buffing it into above her crease, acting as a transition shade. And then I'm going to take this warmer, almost red undertoned eyeshadow and just buffing that underneath the transition, so just directly in her crease basically. Taking this cooler brown in the palette, I'm just going to be taking it on a smaller tapered brush and just buffing that into the outer edges of her eye to add some more definition. Taking this Chi Chi Cosmetics foiled eyeshadow in the shade Gold, and I'm just going to use that to act as almost like a base pigment for the eyeshadow that we're going to use in a second. And I'm just using that to carve out her eyes, almost to act as a soft semi-cut crease. And then I'm going to take this Dior single eyeshadow. I think it's in Gold, but I'm not sure what the shade name it is. Everything will be linked down in the description. And as you can see, it just intensifies that foiled eyeshadow so much more. And then taking that even darker brown shade on that same taper brush and just buffing that in the outer edges of her eye just to intensify it even more. Then taking my Maybelline Hyper Sharp Liner and just lining her eyes ever so slightly because she didn't want a wing and I just didn't think that the wing would suit her eye shape personally. So that's what we went with. And then using the Too Faced Hangover Primer. And I know the Photoshop on that photo is so bad, trust me, I know. And because it was her actual formal that night, she decided that she wanted more of a luminous base, so we went with the L'Oreal Lumi base. And then for foundation, I'm just using a mix of Golden Natural and Honey by L'Oreal True Match. Then off camera, we popped on some eyelashes, and these are the Glam by Manicure eyelashes in the style Sienna, and she was really happy with the style. And then we're just touching up the eyeliner. And for concealer, I'm just going to use the same one that we used previously, which is the M.A.C NC25 concealer, and I'm just putting it under her eyes, down the bridge of her nose, on her chin. And like I said before, because it's so yellow, it's great for her skin tone to act as concealer and to highlight her face as well. And I'm using a Real Techniques beauty blender, yeah, we'll call it a beauty blender, to blend that all out. And I forgot to mention that's what I used to blend out her foundation as well. To bake under her eyes, I'm using the Face of Australia translucent powder, and I'm using a damp beauty sponge for this. The reason why I'm using a damp beauty sponge and not a dry beauty sponge or a brush is because the damp beauty sponge will soak up that extra powder, which won't make the under eyes look so cakey after you wipe it off. And then I'm just going to be setting her face with the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder in the shade Deep Natural. To cream contour, I'm just going to be taking the Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the shade Chestnut, and then I'm going to be taking a Real Techniques synthetic, I think it's the contour brush, to blend that out. And then to set that cream contour, I'm going to be taking the Hoola by Benefit bronzer and just putting that on her forehead, on her cheeks, on her nose, under her lip, and this will just define and bronze all over. And to further highlight and define her contour, I'm going to be taking that same translucent powder and just sweeping that underneath her contour. And then I'm going to be taking my Maybelline, I can't remember the name, it'll be linked down below, but it's by Maybelline, and it's just a sort of like crayon liner, twistable liner, and just putting that on her top and bottom waterline. Then to smoke out that waterline, I'm going to be taking that brown shade that we used to define her outer corner, and then I'm going to be taking the transition shade to kind of make it more gradient. Then this is my favorite highlighting trick. I'm just going to be taking M.A.C strobe cream and putting that on the high points of her face. Oh, and it's in the shade Pink Light. And then I'm going to be taking Becca Champagne Pop and just highlighting all those places that we put M.A.C strobe cream basically. And because you put the cream highlight underneath, it just makes it pop and it makes it look really wet and dewy, and it's so pretty. Then I'm taking this Morphe brush and I'm just wiping off that excess bake. And then I'm going to be taking NARS Orgasm and placing that in the apples of her cheeks, as well as trying to blend in that highlight with that contour. And then I'm going to be taking Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara on a disposable mascara wand and just putting that on the tops and bottoms of her eyelashes, connecting her top eyelashes with her false ones and kind of extending her bottoms ones to kind of contrast with her top ones. And just putting some Nivea lip balm onto her lips just because her lips are really dry. And then I'm going to be lining her lips with this Ultra pencil. I can't remember the shade, but like I said, it'll be linked below. Everything will be linked below. And then I'm going to be taking this NYX Suede lipstick in Sandstorm and placing that everywhere. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!